This is what a failed attempt looks like at trying to make a pumpkin roll. I have mentioned to you guys, right, that I am no baker. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, back with what would be another Saute Saturday. I know I'm late. I was in Savannah with the girls, and speaking of the girls, they are the reason why I am sharing this recipe still, because they said this still came out absolutely bomb. I thought it tasted good, but this is my failed attempt at making a pumpkin roll. I tried to roll it. I really did. Like I said, I'm no baker. So for this recipe, you're going to need stuff to make the cake, and then you're going to need stuff to make the filling. So it's very simple for what you need for the cake itself. So you're just going to need 3 eggs. That one keeps rolling away from me. No matter how hard I try, I would put it back and it just would roll away. Doesn't want to stay. White sugar, some pumpkin, like 2/3 of a can, some powdered sugar, that is 2 tablespoons of pumpkin spice, some cornstarch, just a little bit of flour, and that is it. This is a towel. They said to use a clean kitchen towel to roll the actual pumpkin roll, and this is the bowl that we're going to mix the cake in. For the filling, you need vanilla, powdered sugar. Now it calls for a full cup of powdered sugar. I'm only using a half a cup because it calls for regular cream cheese, but I am using the cookie butter cream cheese that I found at Walmart. I cannot wait to try this. I haven't even tasted it yet, but I'm assuming that it's sweeter than regular cream cheese. So I only used half of the powdered sugar and 4 tablespoons of butter. So that is it. Let's start by mixing the ingredients for the cake. I was like laughing when I was editing this because I kept switching the bowl and moving all over, trying to find a spot where my shadow was not in the way of making this cake. So first step is to put the 3 eggs into a bowl and then add the sugar and whisk that together well. Then the cornstarch, pumpkin spice mix, and flour. Then the pumpkin, and again, mix really well. Once you have a nice smooth consistency, we're going to grab a sheet pan. I'm using an old one just because we're going to still cover it with parchment paper. So I sprayed cooking spray on the pan first so that the parchment paper would stick really well. And then I sprayed the top of the parchment paper again. And then now we're just going to dump the cake mix onto here. Now they actually said to use a special kind of Swiss roll cake pan. I didn't even know there was such a thing, and I didn't have one of those, but I found a sheet pan that was the closest measurement to what they wanted, which was an 11 by 14. So once all of the cake mix was in there, I just gave it a good shake so it was as even as possible. The more even that the cake would be, then the easier it would be to roll. So I put that in the oven for between 13 to 15 minutes. The recipe that I found that I'm linking below actually didn't even give me a time. It just said until the toothpick came out clean, which I found was around 15 minutes. So while that was cooling, I put the butter, the vanilla, the powdered sugar, and that cookie butter cream cheese into a bowl and mixed up the filling. Now, you're not going to set this aside for very long because the instructions tell you not to let the cake cool for very long at all. Then the instructions also say to sift powdered sugar onto that clean kitchen towel first as a way for that cake to stick to. So I flipped that cake over onto the powdered sugar, and then I removed the parchment paper, and then I just trimmed off any of the rough edges. Anything that may be hard or crispy was also going to hinder the rolling process. So once you're done spreading the filling onto the cake, the instructions say to flip the towel over the cake and begin rolling. Already right away, I messed it up and tried to smooth it out. Madison said that maybe I had to flip the towel over the entire cake and then kind of pull it back and tight roll it. But I had a feeling from any which way that I tried to roll this cake that it was going to break and it was not pliable enough to roll. I kind of had a feeling even before I started making this recipe that I wasn't going to be able to figure this out. So I decided to just try and go with it because it tasted so good and I didn't want to ruin it. I kind of called the girls freaking out and they were like, yo, if it tastes good, you better still bring it. Cut it up and just bring it. So I actually just cut it up to bring it for them. But then Daryl tasted it and he was like, yo, this is still so good. You should still share the recipe itself, because if somebody else could nail the rolling part of it, then this could be a really good recipe for them. So I literally just stacked it up the best that I could and made like a triple pumpkin bar. But the cookie butter cream cheese was phenomenal. I just sprinkled tons of powdered sugar on top of it. And like I said, it still tasted amazing, but I just couldn't figure out how to roll it. So if you guys have done that before and you have some kind of comments that you can help me with, please comment down below. Please give me a big thumbs up for at least attempting to try and do something out of my comfort zone. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. I don't always fail at my recipes, but I post a Saute Saturday every Saturday here on the channel, or at least sometime soon thereafter. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.